Hello everyone and welcome back to my The General Hospital 24 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sonny catches Valentine breaking into his home to recoup old passports. He holds a gun on him and Valentine says he's just picking up commodity he left. Sonny says it belongs to him now, and he's a trespassing fugitive, which makes this veritably easy for him. Sonny wants answers, including why he tampered with his drug. Valentine explains Jack forced him to do that and he'd to follow orders, and he'd no beef with Sonny. Sonny says that doesn't get him or Brennan off the hook. Sonny says Diane wouldn't indeed break a sweat persuading the DA he shot in Medler in tone defense, and Lulu and Dante will no way have to worry about him again. Valentine commentary, perhaps not, but Michael will. Sonny hopes Valentine isn't hanging his son. Valentine explains Michael could have been killed in that explosion, and the device used is only available to certain government agencies. Sonny tells him he formerly knows that. Valentine says he knows who planted it, so put down the gun, and they can talk. Valentine explains the device was made for the WSB, and a payload of them went missing from Pikeman. He was searching for them when he'd to run. They were bought and fell into the hands of a hitman, who was hired to kill him. Sonny wants a name, but Valentine doesn't have one. Still, he can communicate the buyer and get him a name. Valentine only knows the hitman's name is Solinsky, and given the job is incomplete, he'll come for him again. Sonny orders Valentine to leave the passports and go, which Valentine does. At the sanitarium, Isaiah and Willow work to stabilize Carly. Anna enters the trauma unit and reveals Carly has polonium poisoning, and her son Robin developed the cure. She puts Isaiah on the phone with her. Anna returns to Jack and informs him that Robin is helping them treat Carly. Jack says his platoon is also working on synthesizing the cure. Anna hopes it arrives in time. Carly is stabilized, and Jack is allowed to see her. She's unconscious, and he tells her how important he stressed commodity like this passing. Latterly, Carly goes into cardiac arrest, and Willow and Isaiah jump in. Fortunately, Jack arrives with the cure just in time. After she's stable, Brennan asks for a moment alone with Carly. Willow and Isaiah head to the hall and tell Anna that Carly is okay. Anna defenses herself. Willow wants to call Carly's family, but Isaiah warns her that if she goes against Brennan, she'll be arrested. At the Quartermain manse, Chase is floored that Brook Lynn had a child with Dante. He says that's commodity the two of them will no way have. Brook Lynn wishes she could say commodity to make everything more, but she doesn't know what to say. Chase wants to know everything that happened. They sit down, and Brook Lynn says she and Dante grew up together, and they were both a little wild. Their parents transferred them to camp to learn how to be counselors and hoped it would calm them down a bit. She was homesick frequently, so Dante would sneak over to comfort her, and Cody covered for them. One night, they kissed, and one thing led to another. She says Cody drove her to the machine station when she set about she was pregnant. Chase realizes Cody knows the secret, and Dante is the only bone. Who didn't know she was pregnant? Brook Lynn cries that she used to suppose God was chastising her for getting pregnant before marriage, and she supplicated for remission. She also knew she couldn't have the baby and raise it. The baby merited better than to be raised by a sprat. Chase says she made the right choice. Brook Lynn says Dante's mama made a different choice, and she felt pressure to do what Olivia did, but she couldn't do it. She knew keeping the baby would ruin all of their lives, so she kept his actuality a secret. Chase stammers as he allowed. She didn't know the gender of her child. Brook Lynn says Lulu told her, and Chase says, does she ever keep her mouth shut? Chase says all he's wanted was for them to have a sprat, and now she and Dante have a son. He asks if she loved Dante. Brook Lynn says she allowed. She was in love with him, but she was a teenager. She didn't know real love until Chase. He says the same about her. Brook Lynn says she didn't see Dante for a time after having her baby, and she had an unrestricted relinquishment. Also, when she eventually saw Dante, he was dating someone differently, and it was like the summer no way happened. Chase asks when Carly asked her to break up Lulu and Dante if she was trying to get back with him. Brook Lynn admits the unattractive Verity is part of her did it for the plutocrat, and part of it was to see if Dante had passions for her still. However, she could rub it in Lulu's face and tell him about the baby, if he did. Still, it didn't turn out that way, and what she felt for Dante was a long time ago. What she felt for Dante is nothing compared to what she feels for him. Chase feels Dante will want to know he has a child out there. Brook Lynn says their child is a grown-up, who has no idea about her or Dante. Brook Lynn says as bothered as he's about what's right for Dante, she's upset about pitching their son's life. However, she'll tell Dante if their son comes looking for his parents. Still, for now, Dante is happier not knowing. Chase still believes Dante has a right to know, but she argues Dante's happiness isn't more important than their son's. Chase says if it were him, he'd want to know. She gets that, but he has to promise that Dante will no way know about their baby. Sasha addresses to Jason about the baby, as she's upset about Michael. She explains that Willow has lost it, and if she finds out about this baby, she'll make sure she gets full guardianship of the kiddies. That would kill Michael. Jason says he's willing to be this child's father, so will she accept his help? Sasha tells him that Carly talked to her about letting him in further, and that he's a great Joe, so she has to ask if he'll be okay not telling Carly that this baby is her grandchild. Jason says Carly can't know for now. Sasha admits she wishes Michael was there for the sonogram, and she shows him the print of the baby. She asks if there's a way to get this print to Michael, and Jason says he'll take care of it. They're intruded by a call, which Jason steps out to take. It's Anna who tells him to get to the sanitarium now, as it's about Carly. Back in Carly's sanitarium room, Brennan ignores a call from Sunny. Brennan takes her hand and tells her that he knows she can hear him, he knows how strong and stubborn she is, so he's not going to give her a bedside Vim talk. He's going to tell her commodity no bone knows about him, as she likes knowing those effects. He cries that he has a heart, and it's all hers. Carly's eyes flutter open. Dante brings pizza to Lulu at Laura's place. Lulu can't believe the kiddies are home with her eventually. They sit down, and Lulu tells Dante she's been allowing, and she wants Rocco to come live with her and Charlotte. Dante says she should talk to Rocco about this, as it might be too important for their son. He admits he's having a hard time with the idea too. Dante says he doesn't know if he could let Rocco go, and he doesn't know if Rocco would want to move in with her. Moreover, Lulu feels Rocco needs to make up for lost time with her and Charlotte. Dante says the only reason he and Rocco are living at the QS is to keep the kiddies together for Sam's sake, and theirs, and Drew takes Charlotte with him like a selfish haul and down from her sisters. Lulu prodigies if that makes her a selfish haul? Dante feels Rocco has been through a lot, and they don't have to push this. He feels Rocco needs them both right now, and she agrees. Outdoors, Valentine lurks at the door, hesitates to knock, and listens at the door. Down in Miami, Lucas wakes up in bed. Marco, standing there in a kerchief, asks how he's feeling. Lucas, with a huge leftover, makes his way out of bed. He remembers meeting Marco last night, kissing him, but he doesn't flash back he got then and why he's not in his clothes. Did they do commodity further last night? Marco says he just brought him to his room, and they did nothing differently, as Lucas was in no condition to concurrence. Lucas asks why he was in his shower. Marco says they didn't make it back in time before Lucas threw up on him. Lucas yells, "Kill me now."